finding your alignment. Alignment for me is really about having your intuition. This is your second chakra, your sacral chakra. Your intuition is also your gut feeling. This is also where your sexual energy is stored. So those that have sexual traumas, a lot of it can also block your intuition, your ability to see clearly, which also magnifies and amplifies into self-doubt. So recognizing that, this is also your emotional center. Your emotions really come from this space, which is why a lot of times having that nauseous, sick feeling, emotions oftentimes like you feel them in your torso area, not so much in your limbs. It's because it's happening right here. Your second chakra also is your male and female energy balancing. So if those are out of whack, oftentimes hormonal frequencies, your hormones, progesterone and estrogen and testosterone can get out of whack. Oftentimes people that are on hormones or, going through menopause or something, if it's real extreme, it's oftentimes because simple fix, male and female energy balance is out of whack. And that can happen from just diving in, and an extreme example would just be committing fully to one gender role and not allowing for a female to just be the female nurturer, but also to not be a disciplinarian. That very simple example, but there's a back and forth to male and female energy, that it isn't necessarily man and woman, but to find that alignment, it's really important here. So the alignment is your intuition, your heart center, your heart also being the physical location of where your soul resides in your body. This is where you are going to access your memories. Your memories are not in your head, they're in your heart. So that's why we have to learn to connect with our heart. The reason people don't know how to access these memories is because we've experienced so much pain and so much shattering that we're holding the splinters, we're holding the breaks, we're holding the pain, we're holding the resentment, we're holding all of that stuff in your heart that is keeping you from accessing your memories. There's a space in there that really is craving compassion. It is what it is. The emotional attachment, whoop, whoop, that happens there is what we must break, because that emotional attachment is really, it's like the ropes that keep the gears from spinning. So we have to look at the emotions and let the emotions go, to acknowledge them, but know that emotions are like a float. You just got to let them go on by through the parade. They are momentary experiences of your human awareness. Then the alignment of your third eye, your clairvoyance, and your crown chakra. So this is your connection to divinity. This is your ability to see energy. The alignment of having your gut, your heart, and your head in alignment is really the magic sauce. And how hard is that to do sometimes? It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Even for me, I know when they're in line, I've experienced it, I've felt it, and sometimes when they're out of alignment, I'm just so stubborn and refusing to look at what is keeping me out of alignment that I'll choose to just not acknowledge that part. And ultimately it ends up, causing some sort of strife or pain. So, but knowing that for me, that's my stubborn nature, that's my extremist. I still work and wrestle with those qualities myself. So being clear and honest with yourself. If you're not being honest with yourself, you're not being honest with anybody. And being honest with yourself is the hardest thing to do. If you really were to look at why did you screw somebody over? Why did you hurt somebody in the past? Why did you decide to do that snide or conniving thing? Why did you decide to lie? Without giving yourself an excuse. Well, he did it first. Well, they did this to me, where you're in the victim role and you're powerless, you're giving your power away. But if you can really genuinely and honestly look at yourself without judgment, without shame, without punishment, and understand why you've made the choices that you've made to participate in hurting somebody else, you will understand so much more about yourself and other people. You'll be able to find compassion, love, and acceptance for these aspects of yourself that before you were taught to punish and blame. Anyone here raised Catholic? Okay, a couple. I don't usually attract Catholics, but okay. So a couple. Anyone here raised Christian or any sort of Christian branch? Okay, anyone have religious programming that says you're a bad person if you do X, Y, Z? Yeah, we got to break that down. That right there, religious programming, is some of the like most intense to break down. And we have to break it down in order for you to actually see if you had permission to make up your own moral code, if you had permission to decide what is ethical and what is right for yourself, not because somebody told you what to believe and how to act, how much different would your life look? Wasn't it? There was a guy that was running for president that was trying to make heroin legal. You guys remember this? Not that I don't think he was like trying to make heroin legal, but it also was like the same principle of like, if heroin was legal, would you do it? Like, would that actually make a whole nother aspect of the population just go out and do heroin? It's just, like, for me, I use that as the same sort of principle. Like, if you decided that killing somebody was wrong, not that it was against the law or that you'd have a punishment, would you do it? Like, there's just certain things that you haven't even ever given yourself permission to look at to decide, is this my moral or was this something that I was taught? Does this feel right or wrong to me, or is this something that I was taught? And even then, if you're a rebel like myself, then you'll be able to see that there are different things that you would stop fighting against if you got to make your own morals, which makes life just a little bit easier. So breaking those things down is what's going to be really, really just life-changing for yourself about making your own morals and creating your own ethical code. I tell all of my angels, I tell anybody who's been in my programs, I do not teach ethics. That's on you. You are an adult, you are responsible, you know what's right and wrong. The tools and the energy awareness that I'm going to be teaching you is incredibly powerful. And it can be good, it can be used for good and it can be used for evil. You can wish harm on another person and you can create it and it will happen. You can create good and you can wish beautiful, wonderful things on another person and it will happen. And just know that you do reap what you sow. It will come back. And for me, that's what I trust. I trust that no matter what you choose to do with this information, you are going to go experience exactly what you're meant to experience with it and from it. It'll make a huge difference for you when you do really get in touch with what do you believe is right and wrong.
To learn more about my upcoming events, programs, and retreats, please visit samanthafaye.com/revolution. I do wish you the very best that life has to offer, and please remember, we are in this together.